Hello and welcome to Define Your Personal Success Compass Guide. This is a companion to episode 43 of the Magic Mindfulness podcast. And I'm Rachel Hupp, and I'm going to be guiding you through this journey. Now, episode 43 is all about what really drives me, the courage to define success your way. And so, what I really want you to know is that true motivation comes from aligning your life with what matters most to you, even when that means perhaps making unconventional choices. It's about having the courage to define success on your own terms, along with the self awareness to pursue what genuinely lights you up. So let's dive in. Welcome, my friend, to your personal success journey. Now, this guide is mindfully and intentionally designed to be a gentle companion as you explore what success means for you. So, finding your own definition of success, one that truly aligns with your values and lights you up from the inside out. It's a transformative journey, right? It requires both courage and compassion. And what we find is that sometimes this path to authentic success means letting go of what others think we should want and tuning inward, tuning into what truly matters to us. Now, through these journaling prompts, through these reflective exercises, my hope is that you will discover your own inner compass, one that points not towards society's definition of achievement, but towards what genuinely energizes and fulfills you. So feel free to print this out or use it as a guide for your own journaling practice. Remember, my friend, there's no right way to define success, only your way. And again, just a gentle reminder that true motivation, like I said, it comes from aligning your life with what really matters most to you, even if it means making unconventional choices. It's about having the courage to define success on your own terms, along with the self awareness to pursue what genuinely lights you up. Now, before we dive in, I'm going to invite you to pause for just a moment and find a little more length in your spine. Sit up nice and tall. Be proud. Exhale, empty your breath. And then just offer yourself a long, slow, deep breath all the way in. Gently let it go. And let's do that one more time. Long, slow, deep breath all the way in, and sigh it out. Beautiful. Let's dive in. We're going to start with a self assessment. So take as much or as little time as feels aligned for you as you move through this practice. Now, the first question or prompt that I want you to consider is where you currently find your motivation. So I want you to think about what gets you excited to wake up in the morning. What makes you want to try harder? Is it things like money and praise from other people? Or is it something that comes from inside of you, like helping people or creating something new? Maybe it's a combination of both of these. So feel free to take your time and just jot down. You can do it as a list. If you want to do two columns here, you could do one for external motivators, things like money and praise from others. You could do one column for intrinsic motivation, things that light you up from within, like helping people or creating something new. Or you can free write, you can make a list, whatever works for you. There's no right or wrong way to do this exercise. And you might even sit in stillness for a few moments first to reflect upon these questions. Where do you currently find your motivation? What gets you excited to wake up in the morning? What makes you want to try harder? You're welcome to pause this video, or you can keep on going and come back to the guide after I talk you through it. Whatever works for you, my friend. So, in our self assessment, the second question that I want you to ponder is what shoulds are you carrying? I was in a training one time where the trainer said, are you shoulding all over yourself? And let me tell you, my friend, I was. We all, every one of us, have those voices in our head saying things like, I should work harder, or I should be more successful by now. So I want you to think about what are those shoulds that are weighing on you? And you can list them all out. List out everything that you feel like you should be doing or that you should have achieved by now. And we're doing this from a place of gentle compassion, right? Self awareness, not to beat ourselves up, not to make ourselves feel bad, but just for that awareness of where are we shoulding all over ourselves and how can we bring that awareness, as I'll guide you, into our own personal motivation and creating a life that really lights us up? All right. Again, feel free to pause to work through this exercise or keep on going with me. The final question in our self assessment is, what lights you up when nobody's watching? So think about what you love to do just for yourself, even if nobody else ever knows about it. What activities make you lose track of time? What would you do even if nobody ever saw it or knew about it? These things that bring you joy just for joy's sake, my friend, they are clues to what really motivates you, what lights you up from the inside out. So take your time on this. And, sometimes what I found in my own life, just a disclaimer here, is that sometimes we have gotten so lost in other people's expectations and serving other people that we lose track of what lights us up and we forget and we don't remember. So if you find yourself in that situation, it's okay. In that case, what I have found helpful personally is thinking back to what I used to enjoy as a kid, right? So, coloring or running out in the woods in nature, going for a walk, playing with the dogs, hanging out with my friends. So, if you are in that place where you have lost track or lost sense of what lights you up because you're so used to giving and doing what other people think you should, it's okay. A lot of us get there. Bring that self-compassion into this journey, but begin to think about, what used to bring you joy, what used to light you up as a child, and what might start to light you up now if you made time for it. All right, when you are ready to move on, we are going to move towards this value clarity exercise. And I talk a lot about core values, knowing what your core values are, because they're such powerful it's like a compass, right? It's very powerful to help you guide your direction in your life in the direction of your core values. So, this is a super powerful exercise. And what I want you to do, like I said, our core values, they're like a personal compass. They show us what really matters in our life and they help to guide our choices. So, when we know our true values, it's much easier to make decisions that feel right and create a life that makes us happy. This next part is going to help you to figure out what you truly value, not what others say you should value, right? What you truly value. By knowing your personal values, your core values, you're going to find it easier to stay motivated and to define success in your own way. So, my invitation to you is to read through this list of example values below, and you can circle or highlight any that are important to you. And of course, feel free to add your own. I left some blanks there if you want to add some that I may not have included. And take your time with this exercise. You can mark as many or as few as you want. And then when you're ready, we'll move on. So, building on this values clarity exercise, we're going to talk about your personal definition of success. So, now that you know what your core values are, what's really important to you, I want you to think back to a time in your life when you felt truly successful. When did you feel truly successful in your life? What made it feel that way? And it doesn't have to be about work, it doesn't have to be about money. It could be any moment where you felt really good about what you achieved or how you lived. And I want you to write down here your own definition of success. And I do want to remind you that this can change and evolve over time. This is a snapshot of where you are right now. What does success mean to you? And so, knowing what your core values are, knowing what it felt like when you felt truly successful, what is your definition of success? And then building on that, write out one sentence. Success to me means. What does success mean to you? I feel most successful when. And if you need this one, my version of success looks different from others because this can be a really powerful clarifying exercise to help you uncover your core values and your personal definition of success. And don't overthink it. Go with your gut. Perfectionists out there, I'm raising my hand right now. Overthinkers out there, I'm raising my hand as well. Let it flow. Try not to overthink it and just jot down whatever is on your heart. When you're ready to move on, I want to talk about finding your enough now, because so often the American dream tells us we need to strive for more, do more, be more, make more, earn more, buy the bigger house, get another car, all of these things. But a lot of the time, what we find is that all of these additional things, all of this additional striving, it doesn't make us feel better. Instead, it might even have the opposite effect. It might make us feel worse. So I want to have you consider, what would enough look and feel like in different areas of your life? So take some time, however much time you need, to reflect honestly about what feels truly satisfying to you, not what you think you should want. So just some examples here. Um, maybe there's a big promotion coming up and you feel like you should put your name in the hat, and everybody around you is like, wow, you would be so good at this role. You should apply. But you know that that role is going to be a lot more stressful, a lot more responsibility. It's going to take you away from your family more. And you're going to be working, at home, in the evenings, on call on the weekends. And so, even though you would be really great at that role, even though everybody around you is encouraging you to apply for it, you may decide that based on your core values, that role is not aligned for you in that moment in time. Or how about this as an example? I used to be the type of person who, as soon as I paid off a car, I would go buy a new car. I don't really know why. But nowadays, I've had my car paid off for 2 or 3 years now. And the same with my cell phone. I used to always want the newest, the most up to date version. Um, my phone has been paid off for 2 or 3 years now. And you know what? Both of those, my car and my phone, they do everything that I need them to do. And so those are my values. I prefer to invest that money in other things. I'm working on remodeling a cabin, but where what's enough for you? If you don't, maybe you don't need that promotion because you're making enough money to live the lifestyle that you want to live. Or maybe you do want to strive higher. Maybe you do want a promotion because you want to level up. Maybe you want to travel more. So there's no right and there's no wrong. This is all about self inquiry, self awareness, self reflection. What does enough look like and feel like in different areas of your life? When would you have enough to feel truly satisfied? And not just thinking about what we're told we should do or what we think we should want. Pretty powerful. All right. And then when you're ready, this is a section about making aligned choices. Now, in the podcast episode, I talked about where, when it was time for me to buy my first house, I couldn't decide if I wanted to live way out in the boonies, live in nature, and really have that experience, that remote rustic experience. Or if I wanted to live in downtown, the city closest to me is Harrisonburg, Virginia. It's known as the Friendly City. And they have a really cute downtown area. I could walk and get my coffee in the morning. I could walk to the farmer's market. And so I couldn't decide, when I was 31, if I wanted to live downtown or if I wanted to live way out in nature. And so what I did, I thought I was making a sensible choice, compromising. I picked somewhere about 20 minutes from town, an easy drive, and just a short drive from a lot of nature trails. What I found was that by compromising, I didn't fully get to experience the fullness of either of those, the charm of living in a small downtown city or the rustic connection to nature by living out in the woods. I had neither of those things. And so what I thought when I thought I was making a sensible choice, kind of in the long run, made me realize that I wish I would have. I don't want to say that. Everything teaches us a valuable lesson. In hindsight, if I had to make that choice again based on what I know now, this is what I want to say. I would pick one or the other. I wouldn't compromise between those two choices. I would pick one or the other, which is what I did. I now live in a little cabin in the woods. So let's, without further ado, move forward, because it can be really hard. We get stuck in that analysis paralysis. We're afraid we're going to make the wrong choice. So you want to think about checking in with your inner wisdom, your intuition, your inner guide. Trust yourself. When you are facing a big decision, this is a simple framework that you can use to tune in to see if you're choosing from your inner wisdom or if you're choosing from external pressure. So you can ask yourself, who am I trying to please with this choice? What shoulds are influencing my thinking? Coming back to the exercise we did earlier today. And then, am I making this choice based on what others might think? So, these are some simple but powerful questions that you can use to help you reflect, just to check in to see if you are choosing from external pressure outside of yourself, or if you are choosing from your own inner wisdom and your own inner guidance, your gut knowing, right? And then a quick checklist for alignment. Does this choice energize you rather than deplete you? Are you excited to talk about this decision? Does this align with your core values from the previous exercise that we did? Are you choosing this to please others? Are you choosing this only to please others, I should say? Does your choice feel true to who you really are? You have to make your own life choices. Nobody else can do that for you. But to the extent possible and where it makes sense, I want to encourage you to trust your inner compass. It knows the way to what truly matters to you. When you make choices that align with your authentic self, you're not just creating a life that looks successful from the outside looking in, you're building one with mindfulness and intention that feels successful from the inside out, that soul aligned success. Remember, like I mentioned before, it's so important. True motivation comes from aligning your life with what matters most to you, your core values, even when that means making unconventional choices or choices that other people around you may not necessarily understand. It's about having the courage to define success on your own terms, along with the self awareness to pursue what genuinely lights you up. So, taking your next steps, my friend, what's one small choice that you could make this week that feels more you, even if others might not understand it? There are no rules here. See what lands on your heart. What would you do differently if you completely trusted your inner wisdom? What's one area of your life where you are ready to define success your way? So, your next move, choose one small action from your journaling that you can take in the next 24 hours and write it here. Remember, every big change starts with one small step that feels true to you. You don't have to transform everything at once. Just begin with one small step. Begin with what feels right for you today. Now, thank you so much for being here with me. I appreciate your time, your energy. I hope that this guide serves you well. So I do want to remind you that this guide is for informational and educational purposes only. By using this guide, you understand that you are solely responsible for your own decisions and actions. While these exercises and reflections are designed to support your personal growth journey, results may vary and no specific outcomes are guaranteed. All right. If you are ready to take the next step and you are ready to go deeper, if this guide has resonated with you and you're feeling called to go deeper, I would be honored to support you on your journey. If you are ready to define success on your own terms, what does that look like? Well, together, we will explore what truly motivates you, help you align your life with what matters most, and create soul aligned success that feels authentic to who you are. Now, I've got a couple of options to connect with me. You can join me in the Zen Space, which is my online yoga membership. Every month, we explore new ways to stay connected to your inner wisdom through mindful movement and powerful intentions that help you stay true to yourself. Now, for those seeking personalized guidance, my one on one coaching offers dedicated support in creating a life that energizes you rather than depletes you. So, you will have access to me one on one. You'll learn practical tools for making aligned choices and defining success your way. So if you are ready to begin, visit www.rachelhupp.com to learn more about how I can support you on your journey, or just shoot me an email over at hello@rachelhupp.com. All right, my friend, I am rooting for you to your aligned success, and I hope to connect with you. I would love to hear your biggest takeaway from this. You can shoot me an email. You can find me on Instagram over at I am Rachel Hub. All right, my friend, here's to your aligned success.